Hey there, everybody. So I did kind of mention in the channel broadcast thing that I was going to put out attempt a Dwarf Fortress, sort of a new game with a bunch of people from the any subscribers that I had that wanted to participate. Essentially, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna, hunt us down a little world here, and we'll set up some of the details here real quick. Um, what's going to happen essentially is in the comments for this particular video, we will kind of keep a list of who all wants to participate. We're going to name your particular dwarf after your YouTube username, and what you'll do is in the comments, list out your name, you want to participate, and what kind of skills you want. Now, if you haven't played Dwarf Fortress before, that's alright. If you have any general idea of Dwarf Fortress at all, you feel free to shoot some suggestions or some ideas of what you would like your skills to be. If you don't have any idea whatsoever, you can always just say, hey, I want to be a fighter dude, or hey, I want to mine some rock, or maybe just hey, I want to be a producer of something, or maybe just a hauler. You don't have to have any specific knowledge of Dwarf Fortress. You can just say, hey, make me this, or make me this kind of guy, and we'll BS some skills up for you, and we can get over the fact that you've never played before. Now, if you haven't played and you're still interested in playing such a game, which is a definite suggestion, I would definitely get into Dwarf Fortress if you haven't already. I do have sort of a it's not the best tutorial out there, but it's a tutorial, so check that out if you're curious. Again, I can try to answer some questions here and there. The Bay 12 gaming forums are probably your best bet for any questions you have or tutorials as far as getting through the initial startup. Here I'm just kind of poking around looking for a decent location, getting a feel for what all is out there. There's a lot of human civilizations out there, or a lot of human fortresses, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's better than having a bunch of goblins everywhere, which is usually my luck. But I'm just kind of searching, feeling around for potential sites. That is to say, I always tend to pick some mountain faces with maybe jungle or water coming out away from them. I kind of botched that a little bit. I meant to have hit continue on instead of let it gin more history, but a couple years isn't going to hurt anything. But yes, so the idea, as I said, is to kind of create a group of dwarfs based off of some the channel participation, and anybody who wants to throw their name in, by all means, go right ahead. I might not be, like I said, like I've said in prior videos, I might not be 110% behind it, just because of the current health issue. I can't really jump right on doing things immediately as I'd like to, but I will definitely pretty much be definitely pretty much I will be recording pretty much every moment that I'm playing the game. I'm not going to do anything off camera. That way you guys can see exactly what's going on with your dwarves, with you guys, and that way I can actually, I can kind of keep updates on what's going on in the fortress, what your dudes are up to. The videos themselves probably won't be too terribly long, each little chunk of time, because I don't know what it is about Dwarf Fortress, but there's sometimes I can play it for, hours on end, and other times, I can get maybe a couple minutes in here and there, and that's about all I can take. I don't know. I don't know what it is about this game, but I mean, sometimes it's something you can just dive right into and just go crazy with. Other times you're like, I've played enough Dwarf Fortress. I know what's gonna happen. I know what I should expect from X and Y and Z, and nobles are terrible and yada yada. So it's just kind of one of those things, and I like reading through some of the old Something Awful playthroughs, like the Boat Murdered, which is the infamous one. Kind of got me into wanting to play the game again, and then I thought maybe it'd be interesting to have a little bit of participation from others. I mean, you can't really net play or group play this game at all, but hey, maybe tying some of the dwarves to the people in my subscriber list, hey, that might be an interesting idea. I won't have named the group or the fortress or anything yet. I'm gonna kind of leave that up in the air. You will again have your dwarves will be named after your subscriber name, your YouTube name, unless you want something different, which by all means make sure you mention it in the comments. Pretty much it's going to be the first come first serve on the 7 dwarves. At some point I might add myself, or add my own dwarfness in there, but it's going to be first come first serve on the first 7, so that way you can have a say in your skills and what kind of job you want in the fortress. And I have particular this is kind of the areas, and like I said, I really like the rocky areas with wood and some kind of water source nearby, because they're always kind of fun to redirect rivers into your area, or it's always good to have trees. I mean, it's not challenging really to try to live in some desert, like some of the other people who really are into Dwarf Fortress that die if you're not doing something crazy challenging. But I kind of want to have an area that we can provide pretty much anything that you want to do as your own particular dwarf in this scenario. So I kind of figured we'd give it a try, give this little area a try. It's 5x5 square. Yes, okay, thank you, game, for telling it. It is at least nice that it kind of tells you that, hey, you're picking a little bit bigger area, and the game does kind of lag up a bit when you get a lot of dwarves rolling around, so maybe you don't want to do that. I will probably limit the total number of dwarves, though. I'll probably limit it to about 120 or so, just because once I've had fortresses crawl to a halt with so many dwarves. My computer again isn't top of the line, and the game itself isn't terribly optimized for dealing with 100 dwarves at a time, so. Or what, not, I mean 200 dwarves at a time. It seems to get to about 100, and then performance starts to kind of dwindle. So I'm gonna leave this like this and say, hey, if you want to participate, just leave a comment and let me know what you want to do. Until then, this is Ampillion, and have a good one.